Does your warehouse have a startup meeting, or do you think it's wasting time? Well, we're going to dive into why you should have a startup meeting and who should run that startup meeting, how long should it be, and what's really the point of the startup meeting and why it's not wasting time but helping you to increase productivity in this edition of DC 101. Check it out.
So a startup meeting in DC is really the first point of contact that I have with an employee on any given day. And it's about really informing them and engaging them with the operation that day. The easy one to answer is that it gives them information of what has to be done and accomplished for the day. The harder answer is that we've all been in DCs at 6 o'clock in the morning and seen a work group kind of meander into their startup meeting, and they're not any more excited about being there than we are. And a really good startup meeting is one where you start to engage them and it start to evoke some emotion from them, where they walk out of that meeting ready to go to work. The basic premise is that it starts with imparting the information they need to know. What do they have to accomplish for the day? Results from yesterday, those kind of components, right? Safety tips, the typical kind of things, right? But ultimately, a really good startup meeting is one that engages employees. I used to work for a company that had a cheer that they did at every startup meeting. And we all have our opinions about cheers and things like that, I'm sure. But when you walk into a facility and see those employees kind of dragging into that startup meeting, because again, 6 a.m., they don't want to be there necessarily, but then having to do a cheer does one or two things. It either does motivate them or they hate it so much, it still motivates them, but in a different manner. Right. At the end of the day, they walk out of that startup meeting, though, with some emotion and some passion, and it has better positioned them for the day. So how do you evoke some level of emotion or engagement from an employee group as part of the startup meeting to get them ready to go to work? 7 to 10 minutes, no more. We all have jobs to do and need to get everybody out to the floor and doing something. But keeping it very focused, on point, and with a very clear message allows you to get it done in that kind of time frame. I would say that the opportunity to engage with people and set expectation is well worth the time, and you'll see it through the change in their productivity. Even though that it does take those 7 to 10 minutes away from them for the day, they'll make up for it in the rate because you've successfully got them ready for work that day. Kind of depends on the operation. The size of the operation matters. Really, you want to make sure the message that you're delivering is really pointed to the group you're talking to. So if I have a small building where we all work across all functions, then yeah, one startup meeting's fine. But if I have 500 people in an operation, I really need to start getting down to kind of manageable groups of people that, one, I can have the impact that I'm trying to achieve, which is get them ready for work. The other thing is I need to be able to give them information relevant to them. If I'm talking to the shipping dock and I'm talking about what the receiving goal is for the day, they're not interested most of the time because it doesn't impact their life at all, right? So you want to make sure that the group fits the message you need to deliver. I'm a big fan of frontline supervisors doing it. Right? It gives them the opportunity to get in front of their group and establish themselves as the leader of the group, as well as get them practice for just their own career development. Get them used to talking to people.
For more information on how to get your operations to suck less, check out the Brecham Group.